I'd like to give the microphone, which is logical, to our longtime friend, colleague, and friend and colleague on local self-governance in Europe, Mathieu Mori, General Secretary of the local councils in Europe. And can we, Mathieu, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me like that?
Yes, this is your interpreter. We can hear you well.
Thank you, Chair. Dear mayors, dear members of parliament, distinguished participants, and if I may, dear friends. First, I'd like to thank the AUC for this kind invitation. The Congress of the Council of Europe, we believe, can support local and regional authorities in Ukraine in three different ways. First, by enhancing international alliances. In that respect, I'm glad to see so many familiar faces today around this virtual table, such as Kelmen Zajazi from NALAS, Fabrizio Rossi from the CMR, representatives from the European Committee of the Regions, and so many others. Secondly, by advocating for decentralization and local self-government. We at the Congress have done so since 2014, and of course, we continue doing so. And thirdly, by helping build resilient and sustainable cities and regions. Now, what does this mean concretely for Ukraine, and what comes next? First, on international alliances. International support to Ukraine has been center stage at the Council of Europe fourth summit of heads of states and governments 1 month ago. The summit reaffirmed the crucial role of local and regional authorities in building a secure, democratic, and cohesive Europe. The summit final declaration highlights the importance of grassroots democracy and multi-level governance and strengthens the mandate of the Congress as a watchdog of local democracy. The summit launched an international register of damage, a first step to ensure accountability, and a first step also towards a compensation mechanism. Local authorities will need to help this register become operational, as they already do with the national registers. More recently, I participated in the Ukraine Recovery Conference in London. This conference stressed the role of local and regional authorities in delivering the local dimension of the recovery and transformation of Ukraine. This conference also gathered a large number of international stakeholders willing to mobilize financial resources for the reconstruction process. Altogether, we must be united in pursuing the potential for direct EU funding of local and regional authorities, as well as of their national associations. Secondly, on advocating for decentralization and local self-government. The Council of Europe and its Congress continue to support the reform of local self-government and decentralization in Ukraine. The Council of Europe high-level dialogue will continue in the autumn, and the Congress will be there together with the national associations to voice their points of view. The Congress will contribute to the development of a roadmap for decentralization and good democratic governance, and continue working with all stakeholders. We obviously will push for a proper set of administrative, legislative, and financial resources to effectively implement national reforms at the local level. And of course, we will make sure the European Charter of Local Self-Government will remain the basis to further enhance local democracy. I want to take this opportunity to praise the openness and the spirit of dialogue shown by all stakeholders in the many high-level or less formal dialogues which take place with the Ukrainian authorities on a regular basis. Thirdly, building resilient and sustainable cities and regions. This is essential for building a more democratic, peaceful, secure, and cohesive future. In that respect, the Congress has introduced to the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe a recommendation for a green reading of the European Charter of Local Self-Government. If adopted, this would recognize a fundamental right to a healthy environment. As we all know, local and regional authorities have a significant role to play in protecting this right. Earlier this week, the Congress Monitoring Committee also approved a Congress strategy on human rights at local and regional levels. And next week, I will be on a mission to New York, taking part in the high-level political forum where we will be pushing, together with many colleagues around this table today, for a further localization of the Sustainable Development Goals. Dear colleagues, these three aspects are, in our view, the key principles of restoration and sustainable development of Ukrainian local authorities. Through the implementation of the Council of Europe Action Plan for Ukraine, direct financial support to local authorities will be available to implement local initiatives aimed at strengthening their resilience and support all residents in a human rights perspective. All in all, we will further promote peer exchanges of know-how, partnerships, networks, and multilateral cooperation for innovation and sustainable development. I want once again to assure you of the Congress' commitment and determination to be on your side in this historic endeavor of building sustainable, strong cities, towns, and regions for a stronger than ever Ukraine, today, after the war of aggression, and on the path to European integration. As always, you can count on us. Thank you, Chair.